Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request from Dwayne, aka Dwayne Hicks. Nice nod to character in Aliens, which is so much better than this movie. But thank you for the request. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, review, re-review, a topic, reaction, commentary, video game playthrough for an hour, full playthrough, ranking, tier list, whatever the case, PayPal is usually the best bet. Do have a Patreon and a CashApp. People have asked about those. The links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I can. For those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I really do. Junior sucks. I know there's going to be people defending the film, and I'm not going to understand why, but it's your opinion. Teach their own. We all like different things. I like the people involved. Ivan Reitman, as a director, may he rest in peace. Ghostbusters 2. I like Evolution. I think that's underrated. I like Dave. I think that's a fun film. Father's Day I could watch for what it is. I'd rather watch that than this movie again. I think he did 6 Days, 7 Nights. I thought that was a fun one with Harrison Ford and Anne Heche. This I always thought was one of his worst films. And it's sad that Arnold and Danny DeVito, the one time they got to re-team together in a film, was this movie. I'm not talking about, oh, DeVito was a cameo as a voice of an animated cartoon in Last Action Hero. I'm talking about them as the stars, because Twins is a fun film. Twins has a good heart to it, and it's rather entertaining. That's a concept that is goofy and silly. What if they were brothers? But it makes you smile when you think about it. Arnold and DeVito as brothers? This, Arnold is pregnant? What the fuck? And that's why a lot of people felt. They didn't want to see Arnold pregnant. No one wants to see Arnold talking about his sore nipples, talking about getting cramps, wearing a dress, wearing a wig, having weird-ass stupid nightmares, crying and crying, eating food, getting fat, and getting pregnant and having a baby. No one wanted to see that. That wasn't a fun concept. It wasn't a funny concept. Hell, okay, I actually don't mind Stop or My Mom Will Shoot with Stallone. Did not need to see the scene with the nightmare scene where he's in a diaper. You could cut that out. But as a concept, a guy having to deal with his mother who is controlling or doting or means well, but he needs her to back off. Even that is a little bit more relatable than this. And that actually is not my favorite Stallone film, but I could watch it and have some fun. I can. I don't think that film is as god-awful as some people make it out to be. It's not great, but I could watch that film and still have fun. This, not really. And, I mean, I know there's the whole story with Stop or My Mom that Arnold tricked Stallone to doing that film. Then what the hell was the reason you did this film, Arnold? That's it. Okay, so Stallone doing a movie where he's got to deal with his mom is goofy and too out there, but Arnold getting pregnant, that's fine, Arnold? Like, who tricked you to doing this movie then? And this is one of his worst films. If that is worst, I would put Terminator, Darth Fate, and Genesis above this. Killing Gunther, I think, is worse. And when I say above this, as in being worse, I think those two Terminator sequels are worse than this. I think Killing Gunther is worse than this. But it's easily his worst comedy. I mean, hell, I would put Hercules worse than... Again, it's not one of his worst films. Hercules in New York is... That'd be a worse comedy, to be fair, if that was meant to be a comedy. So there are worse movies because there are some fun moments with Danny DeVito, because I'm a big DeVito fan. Arnold, once in a while, has a fun moment. Emma Thompson, I like. She plays a scientist who's very clumsy, but she's very. She means well. I think it does really showcases in the performance. Ivan Reitman tried to do that again with Julianne Moore in Evolution. I don't think it came off quite as fun. And I love Evolution. I like that a lot more than this film, but I think Emma Thompson played that kind of role better than Julianne Moore did in that one. But I think Emma Thompson, like, she means well, and she's trying to do her best, and sometimes she don't quite get it, or again, she does these clumsy things. It just felt a bit more cute when she did it, and wasn't trying too hard. She just seemed a bit more natural with the way she was doing it. So I thought Emma Thompson was good. I mean, the plot of the film is Arnold and Danny DeVito are partners working on this fertility drug to stop miscarriages. Their funding gets pulled. Frank Langella, who is Skeletor and the Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe, he was in Cutthroat Island as the villain. He's done a lot of stuff. He's the villain in this too. Head of the committee who doesn't stop the lab being discontinued. Just Emma Thompson gets brought in. Dan DeVito convinces Arnold, let's keep on with the trials. And then convinces Arnold, why don't you start doing the test? We won't carry it to birth. Just enough to tell some of these financiers that it actually works. So he does it, but then he wants to keep it. Him and Emma Thompson fall for each other. Arnold finds out that DeVito took Emma Thompson's aid because she deals with cryogenics. One of the aides is Junior, and that was Emma Thompson's aide. DeVito didn't know that. He just took one, and then Emma Thompson finds out, you got my aid in your body. And then ultimately, he goes into labor, have the baby, end the movie. But the movie just wasn't that funny. And again, do people go, I want to hear Arnold talk about his sore nipples. I want him to cry at commercials. No. No one wanted to see that. And Dan DeVito and Arnold, they don't really have a lot of great memorable moments together. Like all the moments and twins that you think of, Julius, I'm your brother, you know, the way Arnold played the role and the way DeVito's being a wise ass to him, and sometimes where they're doing stuff in conjunction with each other, which is cute, and you just don't have that in this. The moments they share is either talking medical jargon or stuff about, oh, you're getting Arnold's cum and going, man, strong swimmers, big load, way to go. I don't need to hear this shit. Make my ears bleed. Thank you. And just Dan DeVito being dumbfounded by Arnold to keep going with this. Or DeVito dealing with Pamela Reed, who was in Kindergarten Cop, who plays DeVito's ex-wife, and she got stooped by the personal trainer of Aerosmith. There's really not much there for comedy to see through. It's like they really did think that the image of Arnold crying, the image of Arnold having a belly, eating food like a pregnant person, that would automatically get laughs from people. Because other than once in a while, DeVito will say something like, he thought Pamela Reed was pregnant with his kid, but wasn't. And she's like, we've been trying for all these years. Do you think one night would do it? And he goes, well, thought maybe one of mine may have bribed their way through. Like the way DeVito says that was kind of funny. Like I said, Emma Thompson with some of her reactions of being clumsy. I think they came off a bit natural. Like she meant well. But just Arnold going, please let me go with you. I have nothing to wear. Hugging DeVito, wearing a wig, saying that he's got to go to his women retreat to hide out. He's getting much bigger. The birth is getting closer. And I'm sitting there going, where's the comedy? Where am I supposed to laugh? Oh, Arnold is in a dress? In a wig? Which, by the way, to Cat Williams, is not just black guys put in wigs and dresses. Arnold is in a dress and a wig here, too. And believe it or not, he's not black. That whole thing, Cat Williams, oh, they only put black men in dresses. You mean Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie? You mean Arnold in this? You mean Jack Lemmon and Some Like It Hot? You mean Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire? You mean Adam Sandler and Chris Farley and David Spade in that sketch on SNL? You mean all those black people? There were some that did, but there's a lot of white guys who did it too, because that's part of the comedy shtick. Whether you like that or not, that's another thing. Frank Langella, he could play this role in his sleep, and he might as well have done that. Because it's just just nothing role for him. Like I said, this is just another villainous role he could play in his sleep. Again, I'm watching this film, I'm sitting there going, what comedic moments, what comedic beats, other than some of Emma Thompson's clumsiness where, okay, for example, her and Arnold are trying to dance, and she's got a piece of tissue stuck on her shoe. She's trying to kick it off, and she kicks too hard, and the shoe flies off and almost hits someone. And she's embarrassed. But I think they really thought, well, seeing Arnold go through these crazy bits of just getting fatter, getting more pregnant. And by the way, it features these nightmare sequences. Like, one is pure nightmare fuel, where he dreams that he got his baby, and the baby looks like Arnold. And so bad, awful effects. I don't know what the hell they used with it, but he looks so silly and awful, and not in like, I'm laughing, just more like, this is just more creepy than anything. Mama, mama. So the script, the plot, really doesn't give much of Danny DeVito to do. It's not a whole lot of moments for him to be funny. Arnold, he acts like a woman. He gets cramps. He wears dresses. And he gives birth. There's his performance. If you think that's funny, teach their own. I'm sitting there going, and they're trying to have a bit of a message. I don't know if that's what they're trying to go, but you could easily take this as a pro-choice movie or an anti-abortion film. Is what I'm trying to get at. Screwing up the terminology. I know I'm screwing up the terminology. I don't care. Because I don't care about this film. But you just say the trying to be very anti-abortion. Like, how could I do this? How could, you know? But I don't care. I don't care. The music did nothing for me. The directing did nothing for me. The jokes were barely there. And to me, it was just embarrassing to see Arnold. Yeah, I think this is the time when he was doing, like, True Lies came out the same year. Just 2 years, 3 years before, you had Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Guys didn't want to see Arnold pregnant. I don't think girls did either. I mean, who was this made for? It was made for the fans of Twins. Like, look at what they're up to next, but it's such a... The core concept to me is the mistake this film had. The core concept is not appealing to a mass audience, so it's never going to be that big of a hit. And even then, it's like, what jokes could you get out of it other than the most obvious, rudimentary jokes? Arnold's eating a lot of food. Hell, Stubborn My Mellow Shoot did that and did it better. Where she made that whole damn breakfast. And he had to eat it all. You're not leaving until you eat all of it. That was funnier in that movie. This movie sucks. I don't know what else to say. They just, what, a 4.7? I would put it lower than that. If you like this film, teach your own, but I would say, what if you say you like Arnold and DeVito, like DeVito has done so much better, whether it be It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Twins and other films. Hell, Renaissance Man I'll put above this. What, he has a few little moments, but I think a lot of his hands are kind of tied behind his back because of the script, because of the concept. And Arnold, it's just him. I have nothing against, I mean, I just don't find the concept funny. I don't. Especially not enough to generate laughs for almost 2 hours. This was an hour and 49 minutes. It's almost 2 hours. I know my friend Fabio likes the film. Teach their own. This just ain't for me, man. I know other people like the film. Have at it. It's just not for me. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.